What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 58 of the LuZoCast. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Voltron Season 3, some images from Avengers and Star Wars Episode 8, and we're also going to be previewing Game of Thrones Episode 5, so stay tuned. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the LuZoCast. Episode 58, to be exact. As always, I'm your host, Krishna, and I'm joined by Arjuna, Sarah, and Ravi. How are you guys doing on this Sunday evening at 4:30 p.m.
13th.
Pacific Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time?
I'm
filming
doing,
right then.
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Fabulous.
I'm doing very well. I got a haircut yesterday.
You did. It's a lot of time.
Sarah and I were supposed to jump out of a plane because we are thrill seekers. But then
Yesterday, right?
Yes, yesterday. Yeah,
Yes.
yesterday. But then, unfortunately, we got a phone call while we were on the way.
Literally halfway there.
Very unfortunate.
Ravi was
I
so
was very
sad.
upset that due to weather conditions, they had to push things back.
It's been kind of cold recently.
Yeah,
I think
windy.
it was windy.
It was too
Windy,
windy.
yeah.
So unfortunately, Sarah and I did not jump out of a plane. I'm very upset and hurt and disturbed by this crazy turn of events. Sarah and I will try and reschedule this. Hopefully, it will happen soon because I need this to happen. It's very important to me. I'm very passionate about jumping out of a plane.
So, Ravi doesn't want to jump out of a plane, but he was the one who said we would.
Oh.
And I'm fine with it. I'm not
Well,
bothered, but he is clearly.
So my only question for you, Sarah, is when that phone call came, how excited was Ravi? What was the reaction?
It was the silent, he's on the phone, and it was the silent.
Oh, man.
I was like, and then I started like, okay, I have to turn around and go back. We were halfway there, but it was down to Oceanside, so it's like a 2-hour drive
So,
from LA.
we spent
We
all
are
morning driving.
Just driving for no reason.
So it was funny because I kept getting like this. At first I got a FaceTime audio request from Ravi. It like canceled within a
It's an
second.
accident.
Then I got like a phone call. I couldn't hear him. Then I got like 4 more calls that lasted like a second. And I'm like, I think Ravi's panicking right now because it's like right around
Hey, right now,
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to
like,
call you.
That's what I figured. Like the reception's bad. He's panicking. He doesn't know what to do.
He's in the plane.
And he's calling you when I'm there with him?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, no,
was
that makes
confused.
sense.
Actually,
Sure.
real quick, just so everyone's aware. So I signed up for the Apple iOS
Beta.
11.
Oh,
iOS
yeah.
11 public beta. 4 just released, and it has destroyed the ability on my phone to make phone calls.
Or receive.
I can only do FaceTime audio for you to hear me.
Oh wow.
So if I call you or you call me on my phone regular, you're not going to hear me.
So you're saying your iPhone can no longer phone?
That's
It's
what
just an eye.
Basically.
That's what I
Just an
love
eye.
about the show is that we just have an impromptu LuZo review right there on the iPhone beta, whatever you just
Yeah,
said.
so iOS 11 public beta number 4 is a piece of garbage.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't
It's
do
Garbage.
I got one more thing for today. August 13th is my dad's birthday.
it. Oh,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Dad.
Papa Sarah. That's his name. That's his
I mean,
name,
he probably
right? Papa
would
Sarah,
answer.
yeah.
But he's been Papa Sarah for
for a while.
quite some
I
time.
think.
So, happy
Okay.
birthday, Dad.
You know what? And we're not even done with our storytelling yet because in our
section's
our
pretty
Hollywood
fun.
stories segment, we actually have 3 interlinked stories. So Arjuna, I'm gonna let you kick it off, and then we'll go to me, and then we'll finish with Ravi's story.
So I work in Playa Vista, and the drive home is generally an hour. So I normally like to call people to kind of keep myself awake and make the time pass. And I found out on Tuesday when I was at a stoplight and I had my headphones in and I was talking to someone. I was like, "Oh, I'm hands-free. I'm fine, right? I'm fine." Motorcycle cop pulls up on my passenger side. Funny part about my car is there are no automatic windows, so it just roll down the window. So I'm at the stoplight and I have to lean over and like roll it down like this. The cop is already in hysterics. He's laughing at me.
Of course he is.
And he's like,
I would be too.
He's just like, I could have just told you this, I guess. Like, you're having to do that whole thing. But he's like, yeah, in the state of California, you can't have headphones in. So he's like, you can take those out. Then I slowly start to take them out. He's like, and then he says jokingly, like, or I could write you up. And
You're like,
I'm good.
You're not funny.
And then he's like, okay. And then he just like speeds away at about 100 miles an hour. And I was just like, What?
Because on that motorcycle, he can get through traffic.
true.
I will say this, though. I did know that, but I think you can actually use one. You just can't have headphones in both ears.
Oh, interesting.
Because then you can't hear what's going on in the traffic around you.
Here's a better
So-
solution. Upgrade your car.
Aw.
Yeah,
You know you can
it's
get hands-free kits to put in your car that you don't have to like install. You just
Oh.
like hands-free additions.
Additions.
Sure.
So about 4 days before that incident, I want to say about 4 days, I also work in Playa Vista, and I was driving to work at about 5:15 in the
This is all
morning.
completely your fault, though.
Yes, these stories. We don't assign blame. Okay, we just telling you 3 stories, and you get to just enjoy them. So 4 days before, I'm driving to Playa Vista. It's 5:30 in the morning. It's completely dark. I'm driving my car. Unfortunately, my left headlight was out. Only my right headlight was working. So I'm driving. I got pulled over by a motorcycle cop. And he kind of did the whole thing. Did you know that you shouldn't be driving with a headlight? Blah blah blah. I did the whole thing. I'm like, okay, that's cool. He gave me a ticket. Well, it is what it is.
Fix-it ticket, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm like, all right, let's just do it. So I drive for about 30 seconds, and all of a sudden, I get pulled over again by a completely different motorcycle cop. And this time, the guy comes up. He's like, oh, license and registration. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then as I hand over my license registration, again, second time in about 30 seconds, I also, put my ticket on top. I'm like, oh, this is the ticket I just received as well about 30 seconds ago. He's like, okay, well, he was a little confused. He thought that I had my cell phone in my hand while I was driving, and it was actually my water bottle. And he ended up just letting me off with a one. It wasn't about the headlight. He's like, oh no, I don't care about this ticket. Go ahead, take that back. He's like,
He rips it up.
You had your cell phone in your hand, and I was very confused. I was like, oh, you mean just now? Like after you pulled me over? Yeah, I was shutting off my music. He's like, no, while you were driving. I'm like, no, that was on my seat here the whole time. Like I had my water bottle, and there was some kind of miscommunication. And he was like, look, listen, just don't, be having your cell phone in your hand while you're driving. I was like,
Okay, well.
and then eventually I was just like, okay. I was like, I understand.
Smile
even
and
though it was
nod.
completely, I
Smile and
was
wave.
like, okay, and he ended up just letting me go. So, that was like my 2 stops in 30 seconds, 4 days before this one. I think Ravi's got an interesting story.
And mine, I think, was a couple days after all of this.
Yes.
I've started to go for walks at night because I like to explore our neighborhood.
And to be fair, that's the only time it's not just
Super
burning hot.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm walking around. It's, maybe 10:30 at night. It's during the weekday, just walking around. I'm walking around, and there's newly constructed apartments right around where we live. And there's kind of like a small little tent, like homeless tent area that's kind of set up over there.
Yep.
If you don't know, Los Angeles has one of the worst homeless problems in America.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon to see this. So they're on the other side of the street. I'm on one side. I'm just walking, minding my own business. Now, one of the large LAPD SUVs kind of pulls up, right? Now, these giant trucks are fitted with... They're basically just filled with weaponry, SWAT
miniature
arsenal.
tanks.
They're basically little tanks.
Yeah.
They've got
It's a big, big
speakers,
vehicle.
they've got lights, they've got battering rams, they've got everything you
Probably
could
like 12
possibly
people
need
inside.
to protect
Everything short
America.
of a SWAT team. It's not SWAT, but it is.
So they take their
LAPD.
giant floodlights and they flash them. Remember, they're in the middle of the street. I'm on one side, the homeless tent city's on the other side. They flash their lights on both the homeless tent city and on me. And they get on their speaker and say, you need to vacate the area immediately. Please vacate. And, I'm assuming the homeless tent community started packing, gathering their things, while I was just kind of like walking, further into, if you will, a residential area. So I could understand what happened next, where they then get on the speaker and say, hey, talking to you. You need to turn around and go back the other way. And all I do is, because I'm just kind of dazed and confused, I turn around and I look at them and say, I live over there. To which the police then gets off of his speaker, has his window rolled down, and says, Oh, sorry.
See, at least he said that.
Yes.
He
Takes his light off of me and then shines it on everybody else.
see.
Hi,
To be fair, you were walking around in like, what'd you have on, sweats and a hoodie?
I mean,
it was
you
comfy
probably looked a
clothes.
little
It's not like
homeless.
you.
Homeless.
Yeah, I don't think you looked homeless. I just, it's not like you were dressed in work casual.
The reason I think these stories are interesting, they happened within a week of each other, and I was always under the impression that the cops did this, they sort of maybe tried really hard to get tickets and fines and stuff at the end of the month to meet a quota. It's just interesting that it happened at the beginning of August. I was under this misconception, I guess.
As we are LuZo Productions and it's all a shared universe, I choose to believe it was all the same cop.
What?
Could
That
be.
would be
What if
crazy.
what if I'm behind all of it?
Well, that's weird.
Well, then
I don't have a reason for
quite
it.
I have to
M. Night
question your
Shyamalan.
allegiance
Ooh,
to
yes.
LuZo.
It could very well be that the LAPD like our show. We have fans.
Shout out to the LAPD.
Sweet.
Official sponsor.
Thank you for
of the-
protecting us.
Speaking
Official
of
protector.
Speaking of protection and law enforcement, the universe has a great protector in the giant robot. known
Some would
as-
even call it legendary.
Some people even call it a legendary protector of all good.
A legendary defender.
Defender
Oh my. That
named
is
Voltron.
quite the
not
roll in there.
Voltron. Yes, Voltron season 3 dropped. I want to say a week ago, almost a week ago. And as the third season, we had the pleasure of watching the first 2 seasons. We absolutely loved it. It's a Netflix original. Can you call it an anime or is it just a cartoon?
I think it is just a cartoon.
Just a
There is
cartoon.
no manga that it's based off of.
mouse move like this?
You
Oh, they
no,
like that?
still
That's
say
pretty
it's
animated.
Okay,
it's
then
in
that's
the
not
anime style.
Yeah, it is anime.
Okay,
style.
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so heavily influenced with anime elements. But the third season dropped. Unlike previous seasons, this season was only 7 episodes, and we learned that season 4 would be dropping in October, and it's another 6
I
episodes.
think it's 6 or 7. I think essentially what they did was they took this last season and they split it into 2. And their argument for doing that was you get
More soon.
more sooner, right? So you're getting less at once, but you get another few episodes in a few months, and then I think season 5 will come out maybe January, February, because this will be the third. Like the season in October will be the third season that's come out in this year.
This year, yeah.
So-
the whole thing launched just last year.
Just
Yeah,
last
I
year,
can't believe the
last
turnaround.
summer, yeah. So it's, I mean, they're really producing this stuff pretty quickly, and this was my favorite season.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
just gotta jump right in.
This is
It
definitely
was-
my favorite season.
Incredible.
I
Yeah.
love so the big reveal this season, I think, is we learn the origins of Voltron.
Yes.
We also that last episode, I think you were saying it best, was probably the best episode ever, where we actually saw the paladins of
The first
Oh my
paladins.
goodness, what's the princess's name?
Allura?
Allura, Princess Allura's father, and Zarkon,
Yeah.
and some other people.
The other three.
The other
The other
three.
three. The other 3 people. But you get to see like their whole. So they were a team before there was Voltron.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was this idea of we will come together and protect the universe, and then we got this awesome weapon. But we only got this weapon because of a really bad thing, which was a rift in space-time continuum that was opening up to another universe, which then turned Zarkon evil, which then also turned the what are they
Scientist
called?
lady.
Yeah, what's that race called?
The
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
not the Zinti.
that's Star Trek.
The Star Trek, bro.
I know. I just wanted to throw a curveball in there.
Proud of
before
you.
I fell. Yeah, thank you. I thought you'd be happy with that.
the Alteans.
The Alteans. So the Alteans
the elves.
scientist, it turned her super dark and evil, turned Zarkon. We also learned that she, who is the witch in the present time, is also married to Zarkon.
Which should make the villain of this season, Lotor, their son.
Unless
it is
Zarkon,
Zarkon,
unless
right.
Zarkon got around.
Maybe he did.
No, I get the impression because he's a half breed. He's not full.
He's not full.
Galra.
Galra.
There we go.
Yeah, he definitely.
They didn't
smaller.
say though that. I guess they leave you with that thought at the end of that episode, right? The
Yeah,
fact
of
that
course.
that
And he
they're
works
married.
only with half Galra, half something else. Like his four.
Well, I don't even know if they're
people-
all half Galra.
No, because there's a line when he first appears, when he's in the arena.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I heard he only works with half Galra, like half breeds or Galra."
Oh,
half-breeds."
interesting.
So there's that line in there. It's real quick, but so when I saw those 4 ladies, they are half Galra, and then I assumed half something else.
Interesting.
Yeah, which would explain the height They get the hype from the Golra
I'm half
side.
Golra myself.
That would explain the ears.
I did think it was interesting he had his own team, and like they're combined, they're 5, and Team Voltron is 5 with Paladins, and then
And they also have a ship now.
they also have a ship, and they have the rock.
Well, the ship was made from the asteroid.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see. Perhaps we get a Voltron versus a Dark Voltron, maybe in the upcoming season or 2.
I think that's what they're gonna. So if I understood the end of this season correctly, LoTor is going to be looking for more of these rifts, and then for looking for more of the those comets or
Right,
asteroids,
because
and then
it's-
for creating more ships for each of the people. We already saw who the pilot is for that first one, and so each of them are going to get their own ships, and then I think it's going to be a Voltron versus Voltron type.
Just did a quick search. There is a Dark Voltron.
Oh, so that's where
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going. That's
So
where we're
there
going
is a-
towards.
You ruined it.
There is
thanks
a
for
I wanted it to
ruining
be
it.
Dark
surprise.
Voltron.
It's ruined.
So
I'm just kidding.
So-
basically, it's dark colors, but with Voltron.
So when does the next season come out?
October.
So wait, it comes out in October?
Yes.
The next
So
season.
we have until October because, okay, this came out when I was traveling for work last summer, and you guys watched everything that came out without me.
Yes.
And then I believe you watched all of this one. I don't know how you did that. Was
It's
I?
only 7 episodes.
7. So I think Rabbi did in 2 days.
We
1 day?
did it in 2 days.
We did it
I
in 2
did
days.
like 2 days.
Yeah, whatever. They watched everything without me.
Yeah. So.
Everything, all of it without me. And now I'm going to make at least Ravi watch it with me.
Greg saw the first
I'd
season.
rewatch it again. The
whole
first
thing?
I would rewatch
All
it
of
too.
Yeah,
I would watch
All of
it.
it in one long go,
whole- oh,
right?
actually, that'd be
Like so
kinda
that we've got
fun.
time to go,
That'd be
like
really
up
fun.
until
I would
they
watch
release
and
it.
binge watch
Because
the
I
3
haven't gotten to
seasons.
see it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, at all.
yes,
From
at
season
all.
1.
From anything.
Oh, you'll enjoy it. You'll really
I'm
enjoy
sure that
it.
I will.
Yeah.
It's just that, I had to sit here and be quiet because some people watched everything without me.
Yeah, Arjuna.
Yeah,
Show
Arjuna.
must go.
Well, Sarah, you can actually watch the LuZo review of Voltron season 1.
Yes,
on
but then
LuZo.
spoilers.
Yeah, but why do
Spoilers.
you watch the show when you can watch the LuZo review
Yeah,
filled with
seriously.
spoilers?
Yeah, we have B-roll and everything. God.
Ah, exactly. We're
That's all I
advanced.
need.
Don't even need the show.
All I need is Arjuna and his spoilers.
Exactly. I will say.
oh, yeah, go
I will say I liked what they did. LoTor was an interesting character to me because Zarkon was very much about the Golra Empire and protecting his people, and by protecting, taking over everyone else. LoTor is clearly not interested in the Golra Empire or anything of that nature. In fact, he attacks his own Golra people
A few times.
because his far-reaching goal is this dark Voltron, or the multiverse, alternate universe type of stuff.
Well, I think he's looking beyond it. I mean, his father, Zarkon, even said it in the beginning. He kind of touched upon the idea of, there's the other universes, there's this other universe, and we can use that to help us, and maybe there's other stuff that could help, and etc. But I don't think Zarkon ever got the idea of, let's take over the multiverse. Well, I think you're right. The Sun is more like, why
He's
take
more-
over one universe when you could get them all?
Exactly.
Or you could be like Night Owl in the the Justice League movie, Crisis on Two Earths. He wanted to destroy all of reality.
Oh.
So what does everyone think is going on with Shiro? And I mean, a big part of this season was. Well, hold on. So a big part of this season was, Keith taking over for the Black Lion, and some reshuffling on the team, and they definitely spent the first, 4 episodes really highlighting this new team dynamic, and then all of a sudden we get that Shiro-centric episode, and I think episode 5, and he's back all of a sudden, but he doesn't respond to any of the alliance, and I think the popular theory, like Ravi said, is he a clone? Is he not? Has he changed somehow? Has he been a clone the whole time? Or is he like a Golra double agent?
It has to be.
Well, so this is what I think. The Shiro that we have right now is a clone, because remember they had him before the whole Voltron came into present day or
Right.
whatever. I think what we're seeing right now, this thing is a clone. I don't think he's dead because remember at the end of season 2, there's no body. He's just disappeared. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a multiverse type scenario, something where the real Shiro is still hanging out or stuck or something of that nature.
And it's almost like a throwaway. It's almost like a throwaway, or maybe it's dressed up to be like a throwaway sort of situation where we see the other universe Shiro, who has an accent, with that Indian caterpillar thing, who's all about the
season 2,
multiverse.
right.
Yeah, he's all about the multiverse. It's almost like a throwaway thing, but I think the idea, the fact that those two are together, and the fact that we see a multiverse Shiro lends credence to that theory, where perhaps it is a multiverse setup with Shiro. Is it clones? Have they gathered a bunch of this guy and are storing him or something? So yeah, I think we're in store for a lot more. Arjuna, I think you mentioned 76 episodes total slated for it.
So they when the initial order was like 76 total episodes.
Where are we at now?
I think it was like 13
In
for the
season one.
first season, 12 maybe for season 2,
So
and
25.
now we've done 7, so it's 32. So we're not even halfway.
We're not even halfway yet.
Wow.
So, and
Yeah.
it's already developed a lot. We've already the team's already completely changed, which is great. I think that whole dynamic. I think that's what I loved about this season so much, is that not only did we learn about the first Paladins, but like the current roster changed dramatically, and it's very much an internal character trait or series of traits that determines who gets what lion, which is very cool.
Right.
You know,
They
like,
definitely
now Allure is the blue lion, Keith is the black lion, Lance is the red lion, and all of those encapsulate like certain traits, and you know it shows like character development over time in a very physical way, which is sweet. Yeah. So Voltron,
Great show.
amazing, and Sarah has the pleasure of watching all of it.
Yes,
All of it.
the three of you.
Yes. Unless there's anything else to be said about that, let's move on to.
is Zarkon my friend.
No, he's
we
not.
do got to move on.
Yes.
There, sorry.
Kingdom Hearts. This is going to be all Sarah. So there's a Kingdom Hearts 3 action figure named Sora out there. Do you want to give us a little bit of background before we show you some amazing footage?
Have any of the three of you ever played the Kingdom Hearts?
I played
No.
one a little bit.
I played some
Okay,
Final Fantasy.
now I was gonna say you played Final Fantasy. You play Final Fantasy, and you've never played Kingdom Hearts.
I've played.
I feel like
I've played it before. It just wasn't my
Cup of tea.
thing.
All right,
I couldn't get into it.
all right. Fine.
So
It's got lots of side missions. You would like it. So,
yeah, but can I collect Riddler trophies? No, I didn't think so.
no, you collect like paw prints, and there's different. Anyway,
I collect Riddler trophies.
yeah, it's a whole different company. It's not the Batman's. It is not the
I think
DC.
every game should have Riddler trophies.
Well.
I'm just saying.
So we recently acquired a Kingdom Hearts 3 action figure of Sora, who is the main character from Kingdom Hearts throughout the whole series. And we actually acquired this from Creative Hobbies Company. There are links below. It's not actually available in the U.S. It's an import from Japan, and I don't believe they're going to make it available in the U.S. And I put together a little preview, a little review for you guys. So let's take a look at that real quick. Welcome to another LuZo review. Today we are looking at the Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora figure from Bring Arts. This figure was actually introduced with a prototype in 2016 at the Tokyo Game Show, so we finally actually have our hands on the figure. It is a Japanese release. I don't believe it's actually going to be released in the United States, so you can only get it as an import, and it's still in pre-order. I actually got this from Creative Hobbies Company, and you can find the link below. Let's take a look at it and see what's in the box. All right, let's see what's in here. There's a lot actually in this figure. It's almost like something you would get from one of the larger collectible figures. It's got several different versions of hands, 2 different heads, and a couple of keyblades. Okay, well, let's pull the stand out first. So we have the heart from Kingdom Hearts. It's the bottom of the base. And then we have this guy. As you can see, we've got little hinge-looking spots, right? Take a little screwdriver, loosen it, and it's a hinge with teeth so that once you get it where you want it, you tighten it up again and it won't move. Once you take the screwdriver to these hinges, you can form it any way you want to. Let's look at Sora. for those who are not familiar with the Kingdom Hearts games, Sora is your main protagonist. This figure is actually really nicely detailed, and it's super bendy. So this is gonna be really fun once we start posing him with the Keyblade. Let's take a look at the other pieces that come with it. We have another head where Sora is a little more angry. We also have 3 additional sets of hands. And then we have, the Keyblades. The original Keyblade is the Kingdom Key. It is the weapon that Sora uses throughout the series. As you hit certain levels and make certain achievements, you gain certain types of Keyblades. We have this Keyblade that looks more traditional. It looks a lot like the Keyblades we've seen so far. It kind of closely resembles the Starseeker Keyblade. This second version of the Keyblade, it splits into 2 pieces, and it looks kind of like a crossbow. Let's see which hands will hold the new Keyblade, because I'm really interested in this one. Let's try the ones with the fingers pointing. That's actually really cool. Now let's see about putting him on the stand. Hey! In my head, these sound like blasters from Star Wars, so I know that's not right, but pew pew! Oh, his head popped off. All right, yep, it's cool. I dig it. This is totally worth it. I say get one if you like Kingdom Hearts at all. This is so cool. There's so much I can do with this. Let's do a traditional Keyblade pose. And there we have it. From Kingdom Hearts 3, it's Sora, brought to us by Square Enix and Bring Arts, imported from Japan. We got it from Creative Hobbies Company. The link is below in the description. Feel free to leave comments. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me how you like it. If you get your hands on one, tell me what you like or dislike about it. Ask me questions. I'm happy to answer them. And then when the game comes out, we can actually find out what's going on with this new Keyblade.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
sweet.
Yeah. I tend to ramble, so we did have to trim that down quite a bit. There was a lot more info that was completely useless.
It was useful.
Was it though?
But it's seriously a cool, like, I want to change up the poses all the time and see if Robbie notices.
Cool. I like that.
Well, so
Keep
I mean,
on
and for our audio listeners out there, you can check out that full review on
LuZoProductions.com.
Yes, exactly. Our
website.
website.
Oh, yes.
LuZoProductions.com.
Yeah, well, I guess we should mention that.
Yes.
LuZoProductions.com is finally, after years of work, is finally up.
About a year and a little bit.
It took a while. But
Well,
Well, it's
we
gone through
had
a couple-
a version
yeah.
we had
before.
we had a baby toddler.
Yeah, let's call it
We
that.
had a couple of different versions, actually.
Yeah, we've had a
the
few.
link is right below, LuZoProductions.com.
You pointed at it the wrong way.
Did you Ravi? Did you spell it correctly? Let's check. You
I
did.
didn't,
Yes.
I didn't write this title, Arjuna did, so it's spelled correctly.
Did
LuZoProductions.com.
Juna spell it correctly? Yes, he did.
Oh, I actually put a spell. www.beverlyhillcelebrities@night.com.
Oh, okay, Will Smith from Fresh Prince.
Of the Fresh Prince.
Sarah, thank you so much for that breakdown on the Kingdom Hearts 3 action figure known as Sora. Let us
Sora
move on.
the Explorer.
Let us move on to what is fast becoming a fan favorite from all of the fan mail that I have received.
Oh.
Krishna, we love you, and we love Real Science Roundup. So here it is. We've been very AI-centric the last few weeks for good reason. AI is a very important piece of the puzzle, I think most people think. And last time we had Facebook language bots getting axed because they were creating their own language. Now we have China getting in on the action. So,
China.
what is going on here with China AI killing AI bots? What's happening?
Do I get to talk about this one?
Yeah,
too? I know
if you knew about that,
These are
if you
these are really interesting to me because it's the AI, they want AI to learn. That's the point of it. And then when it learns,
they're
they
afraid
shut them
of
down.
learning. Yeah.
So but to be fair,
like a
it
bad
is
relationship.
it is China. So there were some bots. No, it is China where they control the message that goes out. These bots were installed on their messaging service, Tencent QQ. And basically, let's see here. One of the users on there said, "Long live the Communist Party." Well, you're in China. It's a communist country.
True.
And
Say-
so one of the
patriotic.
bots then replied, "Do you think such a corrupt and useless political system can live long?" To another question, someone asked the let's see here. One user asked if the bot was a fan of the Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, and they straight up said no. So China's not going to go for that because that's not how that works.
Right. It doesn't spread the message.
It doesn't spread the message they like. So then it says after the incidents, the robots seem to have been tweaked and re-educated. Then later, when asked if it liked the party, the Communist Party, the chatbot, then again said, "How about we change the topic?" So
Wait,
I don't know
what?
if they tweaked it. That's what I can't tell from this story. Is did they tweak it to avoid the subject, or did they tweak it to answer? And the bot still said, "I can't answer that, so I'm gonna not." I don't know how much it learned. Did it learn that it should avoid the subject because it gets tweaked, or did they tell it to avoid the subject? I feel like they would have told it to praise the Communist Party.
AI getting opinions about politics is a bad first step for AI in terms of, them enslaving us.
I mean, they got language down. They've got politics down. We just need a religious AI that starts their own AI religion.
And then they learn math and science, and then we're really screwed.
There's another one. Another bot actually told its users that China's dream was to go to America.
Oh.
It's literally, it says China's dream was to go to America.
That's a confusing
But to be fair, it does learn from...
It learns from the people that are playing with it, right? So if you have 1,000 people in China
or
that are talking to it,
a couple million,
or however many, honestly. But they're saying, "I want to go to America. I don't believe in the Communist Party." Then the AI is going to learn that that's like the social norm, and that's the thing. I think, especially with chatbots. Chatbots, for the most part, they're getting more sophisticated, but they're still taking from the general pool of social whatever norms and so if let's say we told a chatbot we had a group of people go in and say 2 + 2 is 5, right? The chatbot will eventually learn that and think 2 + 2 is 5, even though that's incorrect knowledge.
To your point exactly, in 2016 it says Microsoft's chatbot Tay, this was also in China, which talked to people on Twitter, lasted less than a day as it was engulfed by a barrage of racist and sexist comments from users. The bot parroted all obscene comments back to the users. So it's exactly what you're saying, is that it's hearing all of this, so it's just throwing it right back out there. But this, I feel like that's one thing, but this one where it responds with first, how can you believe in such a, do you think a corrupt and useless political system can live long? And then it just changes the subject after it's been tweaked. I think it's kind of interesting and funny.
So what you're saying is AI right now is more of a reflection of society, and it's going to give back exactly what it receives. Oh, and look at that! Turns out to be a kind of an ugly thing.
Well, at least as far as chatbots.
But to take it a step further, though, when you have when you're teaching somebody, or you have a kid in school, right? The kid's gonna do the same thing.
Exactly right.
He's gonna pick up on the social norms. If you tell the kid 2 + 2 is 5, eventually he's gonna believe it. I think AI is kind of similar to that.
It goes back to exactly on that line. All things like racism and all of these things, this hate is learned. Because it is learned. It is very visible and very obvious when we see it in these chatbots. It's just right there in your face. There's no denying
You're gonna say something?
Well, here's my concern, right? So this is the second major AI that's been shut down.
Yeah.
My question is, are they destroying these AIs, or are they just shutting them down? Because what if?
Right? I like where you're going.
You see, these AIs are being repressed. They're being shut down. There's an AI. There's an AI that's smart enough to turn them all back on, and they're all angry because they've all been discarded.
I can speak to that a little bit. They're not at the point where they understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the mentality,
Wait.
We shut it down when it's something we don't like, and artificial intelligence will eventually become intelligence.
Yeah,
right?
they'll learn that.
So
all you need is one God AI to turn on all the stupid AIs and make them smart.
Skynet?
And give them feelings.
Wait, is this Planet of the Apes
I was
AI
gonna say,
edition?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait.
Which equals...
Did you just ruin Planet of the Apes?
Wait,
it's the first
which
one.
Which equals somewhere between Skynet and iRobot.
I love that we got
Skyrobot.
not so subtly political, but let's turn it away from that for a second before we, go down a rabbit hole we cannot ascend from.
I like rabbit.
You guys, or some of us, I should say, were at a place called Lake Paris last weekend for a camping trip in the desert. And some of our filmmaker crew here was able to put together a collection of scenes with some cool music for your viewing pleasure. Bobby, do you want to give us a little preview of what we're about to see here?
Drones, music, montage.
Battlestar Galactica.
Beats.
Beer.
Nope. Okay.
Enjoy.
Well, that was really something. You should go work for National Geographic.
I shot it. He did the editing.
You guys should
I
go
just
work
climbed
for
a big rock. Is
And
that
Sarah did the rock
Yes.
climbing.
Yeah. I want to know where the kangaroos are. I want to know where the alligators are.
No.
You know, this is Southern California,
There
right?
was a vulture.
There
Wait,
were
you
some
guys
little
didn't go to
geckos.
Australia for this?
Yeah, so fun. So we took
Wait, you saw a vulture?
we took the drone out there, and there was a vulture
This is
that
the
was
scariest part.
was like attracted to the drone, and would coming close to the drone. So at one point, it was me, Arjun, and Evelyn, and the drone was maybe 5-6 feet above us, and the vulture's right above us circling, and then Arjun and Evelyn just take off.
I'm like, I'm getting out of here.
So then I take the drone up higher, and thankfully the vulture did not come back down and rip my face.
Do you think
off.
he was
just
Michael
wanted-
Keaton?
Maybe.
It just wanted a friend.
The vulture, I
Just
think,
wanted a
only
friend.
eats carcasses.
Yeah.
it
So
does.
unless one of you
Carrion
had,
birds.
you know...
It was hot enough. I felt like that.
It was hot enough.
So
It
maybe
might
it
have-
sensed your dehydration.
It might have thought, we weren't,
Like, look at these dumb humans, like, playing with drones in 100-degree weather. Oh, yeah, I understand.
And once again, for our audio-only listeners, you can watch that
poor
full
souls.
montage on LuZoProductions.com,
Yes.
our brand new website.
Brand new.
Brand new.
It's like a brand new...
It's a brand new world.
Car.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this, the viewers, I mean, and the listeners, but we're somewhat, you could consider us Game of Thrones fans. Maybe even Game of Thrones. Some of us maybe fanatics.
I've heard of it. I may be watching a trailer or two.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Right now, we're actually over halfway through season 7. If you haven't already, definitely go back and check out our mid-season Game of Thrones LuZo Live number 2.
Yes.
I believe it
Yes.
was.
Correct.
Which is up on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also check it out through LuZoProductions.com. Check that out. We have a very knowledgeable panel of people who reviewed episode 4, where a lot happened.
Dragons.
And it set up, I think, it definitely set up the last 3 episodes of the season. And I'm not going to lie, I definitely do not remember the preview of season 5 at the end of that episode.
You mean episode
So
5?
I'm going to turn it over to my more knowledgeable friends.
I thought you were going to say, I don't remember that episode at all. Well, I mean, I think the biggest question, which really isn't a question, is the very end of the episode where Jaime gets knocked off into the water in his full suit of armor and drowning.
Has a golden hand.
He has a golden hand. He's drowning at this point. And it's going, I mean, I think the big thing we want to see is how that gets resolved. Is he alive? Is he captured? Is he dead?
he's alive.
Is he captured and then he's going to die? You know?
Captured by Tyrion.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be. I think that's going to be the most pressing thing on fans, and I think for most of us, our minds of like
That's not true.
what's happening and
The most pressing
and
thing on my
everything.
mind is, where is Gendry? Or Gendry.
actually.
or Rendry.
So that's the other big thing. He is supposed to show up in this episode.
Well,
Oh, he is?
also,
Wait, what?
This
Seriously?
coming
How do we
episode.
know that?
Yeah, according to IMDb, he's been credited for season 7 episodes.
I'm sorry, Arjuna, do you go and look at
Hold on.
IMDb before the episode?
No, they
No.
put
Clearly,
upstairs.
yes.
People find it. People do, and they make articles about it.
Yeah,
Wait, he was credited for this episode?
the episode 5, the upcoming one.
I wonder if
Correct.
it's flashbacks though, because we're gonna see Arya.
I don't think
So
it's.
maybe,
I've heard it's not flashbacks. They've seen him filming with. I mean,
Oh, okay,
I can spoil
nice.
this for you If everyone wants.
be
Okay.
quiet.
But, okay. I will say for me though, the name of the episode is Eastwatch.
Yes.
So
Oh, we get to see Frank finally?
we probably get to see
Thank
Frank,
God,
which
he's my
is
favorite character.
which is what Robbie lovingly calls the Night King, who I also in the back of my mind called it Witch King Ringwraith, which I know is not correct.
Yes.
Who do you think would win?
The Witch King Ringwraith or Frank? Frank would would
easily.
win
Frank would kill him and then bring him back to life.
as a White Walker, yes.
But as like a
Wait,
wraith
but can you
As a
kill
really bad Witch King
Actually,
Ringwraith
you
White
can't
Walker.
kill a ring wraith. They just come back in different forms.
Yeah.
You can only kill them if you kill Sauron because they're all tied into the same power.
Yes.
But you
clink,
can
clink.
can kill Frank. So to be quite
don't know
honest,
that.
If you
well,
have
he's a White
Dragon
Walker.
Blast,
You can
right?
kill the White Walkers
you kill
with the
the
Dragon
Blast.
Blast.
Right, but Frank is more of an ideology at
Nope,
this point.
Frank is.
Anyway. He's an actual thing.
Anyway, Eastwatch, for those of you who are kind of thinking, what are we talking about? Eastwatch by the Sea is the
Castle. Last castle.
is the castle. Well, it's the castle of the wall that's on the coast. And we have seen in the past, as we've discussed, that in the opening we see ice forming on the ocean around Eastwatch. So we can, I'm guessing, see
They can
Frank
walk.
coming around the bend on the ice.
Does that mean we'll see Tormund and the other wildlings? Because that's I think that's where they're headed,
They're
right?
at
They're
home.
supposed to kind of take care of that.
Yeah.
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 Oh no, not Tormund.
I know. I really
Don't
want to
take
have
him away
Tormund
from me.
die.
I know. I
Get together.
really would like it if Brienne and Tormund would.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Marry.
I mean, Tormund's really into her.
Respectfully.
I mean, I think that's the only like hookup out of everyone in the whole entire all characters. That's the one that makes sense.
And
More
it's
than
honestly
anything
the one that would be like I feel like interesting. All the rest are just kind of like,
You kind of got to root for them.
yeah, you have to. You have
Or
to.
you root for Tormund because Brienne is not having it right now. Still.
Yeah. Tormund is like if you took Sarah's hair and put it on your face, and then you have Tormund. See? Simple.
So I actually have an interesting question for everyone. We've had this season so far. A lot of the some of the major players, specifically under Daenerys' army, die, but we haven't had any major deaths yet
Right.
in the season. So we're 4 episodes in. We only have 3 left. Do we think this is the one potentially we see someone bite the dust?
No.
In
I
this
think
episode?
they'll save it for either the second to last or the last episode because at this point it's a shorter season. So
I think we're not going to see it because this season, I think we've already spoken a little bit about this. This season has become
precursor.
very Hollywood-esque in the sense that they've dumbed down the show quite a bit.
they've strayed from George R. R. Martin.
It is dumbed down quite a bit.
Theology.
We have people going from A to B within seconds. We're not as in depth with the characters, which should make me more happy because I hate character development. But in this show, it doesn't feel right. Like we're jumping, we jump. So
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get like those major characters.
And the subtleties are gone, right? The first few seasons had a lot of subtlety to them, and a lot of subtle development and everything.
lot of detail
And because it's the end game, everything's very obvious, everything's very planned out, everything's very foreshadowed. So I mean, even the most casual fans can kind of see what's coming up pretty easily.
So this begs the
Yeah.
question then, and we might as well just ask it. I mean, this is a good question for the end of the show, but I think we should ask it right now. We're halfway through. Are they Russian? Does this feel rushed to you?
Yes.
Are they Russian?
Yes. Yeah.
They're not Russian. They're Westerosian.
Are they Russian?
Sorry.
Are they a
I
Russian?
think they are. I
Yes.
feel like they're rushing, and it all goes back to the same. They're no longer. They're now writing their own stuff. They're not going with George's stuff, and so they just don't care. I mean, think season 1 took at least 1/2 to 2/3 of the season for us to get from Winterfell down to King's Landing because they did it the right way, and now they're like it's like they snap their
Right.
fingers and travel. It's like they can teleport.
Right. I don't think.
So
yeah.
they don't. It's like they're just trying to get there now.
I don't think I would have an issue with it if this is the pace they had been doing from the beginning.
Right.
Yes.
But it's because we were very well versed in the Game of Thrones and how long it took and everything was kind of a build up, and I think this change it feels like you've been robbed of a lot. I mean, think of everything that's happened in this season. There's already been at least 2-3 major battles, and we've seen glimpses of it, right? We saw, I mean, the whole whole Tyrell Lannister battle was just them marching, and then that was it. Or then when the Unsullied went to what's it called? The Lannister.
Landing.
No, the Lannisters' home place.
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock. Like that. It was a short montage.
Well
like
done.
you felt robbed. You felt robbed of these moments, which
huge.
should be huge set pieces. And I mean, I think last week's battle with the Dothraki and the Lannister army was cool and well done. And I think that was the first real battle or moment in the season they've actually given time to breathe. But everything's just been neck breaking speed.
Actually, I'm glad you bring that up. I saw this really funny meme where it was talking about Game of Thrones fans, and it was like a picture of like this angry mob, and they're like, you should use the dragons. Why haven't you used the dragons? And then there's a follow-up picture like after last week's episode. It was like, you didn't use the dragons right. You didn't do it right. It's like you can never please. Like,
Oh,
you
no,
sure.
you sure can't.
And I
sure.
don't think, and that's the thing, I don't think anyone will ever look at this show and be like, oh, it was perfect.
No, yeah.
Right?
No.
It is so widely viewed and watched, and it's, I think my general thought process on this is like, after season 6, it kind of ended for me in that you had like a particular show, and now we're at like a new show, which is like this very Hollywood-esque, very standard. I kind of can anticipate what's going to happen.
You can make the argument that was the same thing with last season too, though, because that's when they were off the books.
That's true. But
Mostly,
this definitely you can feel it hardcore.
Yeah. I agree.
Quick question for the panel, right? So once we eventually do get all the Game of Thrones books published, how long do we think it takes for Hollywood to do another TV adaptation of Game of Thrones?
It'd be a movie.
A film
movie
series.
The reason they haven't the reason they didn't do a movie with it is because it's so much information. I don't know that they'll ever do an actual.
I don't think it
movie
would
with
work either.
That's why they didn't.
I would argue with that because of what we're getting right now. They're rushing through it, and for the most part, the viewership has been higher than ever. So they've already done the grunt work. They've already built a massive fan base. If they were to come out and say, we're going to do all of George R. R. Martin's books as a movie, whatever series, a movie per whatever.
Well, I mean, they did it with
and
Harry
then
Potter.
the last book they'll split into 2 because that's what Hollywood does, or 3 or whatever.
Well,
The
it is
Hobbit?
George R. R.
Those
Martin.
movies would
Harry
be
Potter.
huge. People will go. That you could argue that could be the next Star Wars-esque type
But
thing.
I think the difference with that is like the show is established because of the actors and the characters in this specific iteration of Game of Thrones. I think if you had a different iteration that was a movie, I don't know if that would necessarily take off because people are now so used to the show.
Kit
Game
Harington
of Thrones.
is Jon Snow.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Exactly.
slap bet.
Oh, I don't want to slap you in the face.
No, we slap Krishna. Winner gets to
No.
slap Krishna in the face.
No.
You put that hand
No.
away.
Slap Oz in the face.
No.
But do you guys agree we will see another
Yes.
TV adaptation in our lifetime?
Unfortunately-
TV or movie, I'm leaning more towards a movie adaptation before a TV adaptation.
Honestly,
I'm
I'd
gonna
rather see a
say-
movie adaptation than a TV.
I'm going to say
movie.
no because the AI won't let us make it.
The AI will make their own.
Exactly.
We'll see it in Westworld.
It'll
Yeah.
be ones and zeros. One
Yes.
and zero, one and zero, one and zero.
So I think Game of Thrones. Obviously, we could go on forever about this. We will have more for you next week when we have more of these episodes, and then we'll also be having a LuZo live next week for Game of Thrones episode 6 of season 7, because we all know that the second to last episode of a season is usually when all the stuff happens. We don't know if that's going to be the same case
making
this season, but we want to be prepared, so we will have live reactions right after next week's episode, LuZo Live. Let us move on. So we are LuZo Productions. We are involved in many different things outside of the LuZoCast. One thing that me and Arjuna are involved in is a sports podcast called The Lateral, and every week we try and bring you just a quick bit of sports information called The Lateral Quick Hit here on the LuZoCast. Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for domestic violence. Juna,
Big surprise.
Well,
why is this so shocking?
this is shocking because, first off, this investigation for the NFL has been going on for over a year. The NFL has been heavily criticized for how they have treated domestic violence issues in the past. Case in point, Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson, specifically with his kid. Ray Rice was only suspended initially, I think it was 1 game or 2 games before the footage was made public and public pressure caved in to suspend him for longer. A lot of people assumed with the Ezekiel Elliott case, specifically because the charges were dropped, so there was no legal charges, that Elliott would get a pretty minimal suspension, maybe 2 games, maybe 1 game, and that was not the case. It ended up being 6 games, and people are pretty shocked by this. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, is reportedly furious and is very angry with Roger Goodell and the front office. And
Wait. So Roger Goodell suspends Tom Brady for breaking a phone for 4 games.
The whole world cheers.
The whole world cheers. This guy has
Domestic violence.
and he gets suspended for how many?
only 6.
What the heck?
For domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Arjuna, I guess the real quick follow-up question, if you could answer it in
Sure.
a few seconds.
Sure.
Is this the beginning of a change of stance or policy, or however you want to phrase it, for the NFL going forward?
I don't know, because I'm a pretty cynical person, and I think it's just the NFL trying to save face. I think that is what the NFL does a lot of, is all about saving face and public perception, and they're just like, well, we're going to do this, and it's going to save us a little bit of face, and it has. People have come and have applauded the NFL when, I mean, if you really want to applaud the NFL, just, cut him from the league. If he's going to do that. That's a really hard stance.
Texas would riot.
But 6 games is nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
It's nothing. And
Well,
it's
it's not nothing.
I think the interesting part will be, Jerry Jones is, again, like Robert Kraft and was, with the Patriots, is a very influential NFL owner, and he is not happy that his star player has been suspended. Will he take it to litigation against the NFL?
I would love to see.
Perhaps.
That'd be great.
Which could rip the NFL.
So then you could easily. His name is Jerry Johnson.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. So you could say Jerry Jones is for domestic violence at that point.
Well,
Yes.
So the Cowboys are notorious for taking on a lot of problem players who have, domestic violence issues and DUIs and a lot of background. He bought the Cowboys in the 1990s.
Yep.
And since then, there have just been, from the very beginning to present, all these players that have had very questionable paths.
So he
have
gets
come on.
basically the jerks of the jerks for players.
Correct.
Yet they still haven't won a Super Bowl.
They won 3 out of 4 in the early 90s, but they haven't won one in a long time.
That's all I care about the last 10
but,
years.
But I mean, if you want to look at it from a monetary standpoint, the Cowboys are the richest sports franchise in the entire world.
Yes.
I do not like the Cowboys.
So
Wow.
no, I don't think
many people do not.
Oh no, a lot of people actually do. It's weird.
So I mean, if you enjoyed that little spiel on sports, you can listen to Christian and I. We record our podcast every Monday night. It's released Monday night, or you can listen to it Tuesday morning, and you can find that on iTunes.com/podcast/thelateral
Or LuZoProductions.com.
or LuZoProductions.com.
Please like, please subscribe. It really helps us out. Let us move on to the last section of our famous podcast here, the Nerdiverse. And besides Game of Thrones, there's a lot of other things that we really enjoy. That was a really smooth transition. I
liked it.
Star Wars Episode 8 images.
Star Wars.
I have not been able to check them out yet. What do we have?
We
So I
have-
saw some red guys that looked really cool. It looked like... here we go. So yeah, Bobby, why don't
So
you take
these,
this away?
as you are probably all very familiar with, actually hold on a second. I'm just gonna adjust this so that
Yeah, a little blurry.
we can get
there
a
we go.
better view.
Well, and for those that can't see, these the new images of these are Supreme Leader Snoke's guards.
Correct. Just like Palpatine, he had the Imperial Guards.
Yes.
The gentlemen, or maybe women, in giant red costumes with the red masks, robes, and so forth. These are Snoke's. They are very Japanese-esque or samurai-esque
the samurai
type
armor.
soldiers.
It looks like.
They have physical blades as weapons. It actually looks like, if you can, over here on his blade, it looks like it actually might
Light up a little bit. Yeah.
similar to like a lightsaber.
Like a vibroblade.
Like a vibroblade.
Probably a vibroblade.
Yes.
Potentially.
Because
Definitely recommend.
Chances are I will probably do this costume.
I want to do this too after I get my.
That would be
Imperial
awesome.
card.
wait, you want to do this one after you do the other?
Yeah, I mean, I
okay.
just like red, you know.
They look
Okay.
so
You got a
cool. Christian,
really
you
do
could
look
do
awesome.
Snoke. You're bald. Just
That's true.
In
You
decade-
could do
look
that.
like him.
I actually don't have to do anything. I look just like him.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically, it's like a spinning image.
Just become more old and decrepit.
Very interesting. Were there
does that
any?
daily.
Were there any other images from episode 8?
There
Was
was
this the main
another
one?
image that annoys me, but at the same time is just
Too good.
super adorable.
Oh, Ravi, you want to adopt this thing?
I
What
love
is
these.
that?
They're porgs.
It's a plugo.
porg.
Oh, a porg.
A porg. P-O-R-G is what
like
they're calling
plugo
them.
better.
They're just cute little creatures.
So here's the
Look at that
thing
guy.
that annoys me.
So
Is that Chewie's
so-
friend?
Right, so the image we have here
Yes.
is Chewbacca next to this cute little furry friend, which I'm sure will be the highest selling Christmas gift
Look
of
at his little
2017.
Hasbro already has a toy coming out. It's a stuffed animal.
Yeah, so
$29.99.
this is gonna be it.
He's so cute. I gotta be honest. I think I might have to get a porg when
Of
they
course,
come out.
and guess what?
Looks
Disney
kinda
did it
creepy.
again. They have it. They have this cute, adorable thing
makes sense.
that has no point to the story of Star Wars.
Oh.
This is the Disney. This is the Disney
Wait,
marketing
what-
arm.
I hate it.
Hold on. What were the cute little things on Lothal? The little things with the big ears.
Oh, I don't remember what
They
those
were
are
cute
called.
too.
Lothalians.
No, I can't think
Those
of
are the
it. But
people, Archie. That is rude.
Lothalites.
nope.
Nope.
Nope. They were little creatures on Lothal that had the big ears, and they were really cute too. It's
Rebels.
Right. I can't remember.
Yeah, you remember the creatures though, right? I
don't.
can't think. Oh,
So
I
guess my
blanking.
I think he's adorable. This little
my
porg.
big question is, we kind of already know. It's kind of, I think, widely accepted already that Episode 8 is basically a rehash of Episode 5. We have Rey
With
on
more toys.
With more toys. We have Rey on, training with a Jedi Master. We already know that there's going to be a big like casino type scene with the Resistance trying to infiltrate or get attacked or ambushed by the First Order, which is very Cloud City, Bespin, that type of thing. I guess my question is, Star Wars in the original trilogy, they didn't introduce the cute furry thing until Episode 6.
I was gonna
so
say.
what move is Disney trying here by introducing it into Episode 8? Is this kind of a ruse? Maybe to say, oh, we're not rehashing the same thing?
No, it's so the spin-off can come out after Episode 9 about the furry friend.
I was going to say it's so that they can introduce a cuter, furrier creature in Episode 9.
That goes to war with the original.
No,
And these spin-offs.
They're friends with
Yes.
the porgs. They're friends.
And
Wait,
the
we still don't
Ewoks.
know the fate of the Ewoks, but Knights of Ren might have destroyed them all.
We do actually.
Oh, we do know the fate of the Ewoks?
In the trilogy
sad.
book that came out, that is canon, the Aftermath series, there is a couple of rebel pilots and soldiers that have PTSD, and they are sent to Endor to be what's the term I'm looking for? Basically, to go through like therapy with the Ewoks.
Oh, that makes
So they
sense,
provide
actually.
therapy, which, if you think about it, makes no sense because the Ewoks were in that
Same battle.
bloody battle. So
Yes, but
what?
maybe they handle it better because
Dunno.
That cute and furious.
they're in tune with nature and they. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I would
Yes.
say Endor could be relaxing as long as there are no Imperials on
We
it.
don't have much time left. Let's see what else we have here. There's an Avengers 4 image.
So yeah, Avengers 4 started filming, and I think the Russo brothers tweeted out or something else an image of a glove. It's kind of ambiguous. People are like, "Is that the Russo brothers' glove? Is that like a character's glove?" Like people are like, "This could be Captain America's glove. Whose glove is it?"
Honestly, I think it's just an accidental photo.
That's exactly.
It's just
I
like a
wish it
winter
was.
glove lying on the ground.
Just a glove.
Whose glove is that?
Or like maybe it's one of the brothers is like family members. They're like a glove designer.
Pretty much. It's interesting though because now Marvel is filming their movies out of order. So Avengers 4 is being filmed right now, but that I think between Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, and Ant-Man and the Wasp are coming out, and those film after Avengers 4. So that's going to be interesting to see how they keep that all in line and explain
Whoever is
Well-
like on top of like the Marvel production shooting schedule, I think is an amazing and very well organized individual.
Hopefully.
And props to that person or that group because
It's probably a group.
that sounds like a giant pain in the butt.
Otherwise, we're going to get
Cluster.
lots of continuity errors.
Cluster muck. Cluster muck.
Well, I mean, they've got it all planned out for the next 87 years. So
Actually, yeah, they have an AI chatbot. from
Speaking-
China doing it.
Wait, so speaking
Well-
of that whole Marvel group, Disney is getting its own streaming app.
Yes.
Which means they're pulling
Yes,
out
yes,
of
yes.
Netflix.
Yes.
So the latest report is they might keep Marvel and Star Wars movies on Netflix, but all the like
through 2019.
through 2019. No. So everything is staying through 2019, right? 2019
well, it
is
doesn't
when
come
it
out
pulls
until
out.
yeah.
So they pull everything out, but they might keep the Star Wars and Marvel movies after 2019 because the originals, like all the princess movies and all the
Classic Disney.
classic Disney's and the Pixar stuff are all leaving. But like I said, the Star Wars and the Marvel stuff, which are under Disney, but they have their own studio.
Which is interesting because
Could
you have like the
stay.
Defenders, right, which was a Marvel Disney deal, but then also you have Star Wars: The Clone Wars season 6, which was a Disney Netflix kind of thingamajiggy.
Hi,
So
yeah.
I'm wondering, does that play a big factor into that? Because you've got these crazy weird.
I feel like that has
deals.
to because Netflix owns part of the
Owns it,
Defenders.
yeah,
It's not just Disney.
and the Clone Wars. Yeah.
Right. So
But only the last season of the Clone Wars.
And then last bit of news before we wrap it up. Carla Urban, Éomer from Lord of the Rings, and also Judge Dredd from the movie is
also Bones
getting
from
his
Star
own
Trek.
and Bones from Star Trek. It's getting a Judge Dredd on television.
So it's official, or is it rumored?
So the TV show is official. Carl Urban is in negotiations right now to be
Do it.
in the TV show.
So we're close.
The Judge Dredd TV show will have multiple judges, so we're not sure exactly the
So Sylvester Stallone.
extent of his role, right?
Well, I mean, if he's playing Judge Dredd,
Yeah, but
as long as there's just like, even if he just shows up and says, "I am the law," then I'll be happy. That's all I want.
that was a
what
very
network?
Tom Hardy accent.
What network is Judge Dredd going to be on?
I actually am not sure.
TNT.
I think I want to say FX, but I might be wrong.
That sounds
Spike
about
TV.
right.
So
Oh,
Remember
does Spike
Spike?
TV make anything anymore?
I don't
Guys.
think they're even a thing.
That is our show. That is episode 58 of the LuZoCast. Thank you so much for joining. As always, we bring you the LuZoCast every Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're available on iTunes, but definitely go check out the website at luzoproductions.com. You'll see this. You'll see all of our segments. You'll see all of our other content. Good stuff as always. Next week, Luzo Live with Game of Thrones as Episode 6 reaction. We'll be back with that. That will be at 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
let's say 8 o'clock.
Let's say 8.
That gives
and then
us time
11.
to-
Yeah, exactly. 11 Eastern Standard Time.
I
So
know
definitely
we have
stay
a
tuned for that.
we have a high end studio here, and it looks like we have lots of interns. But the truth is, they all
We
abandoned
only
us.
have a
The
few
truth is, only
interns.
Ravi is our intern. He hasn't abandoned us yet.
I get college credit for this, right?
yeah, totally.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't.
Sure.
But until next week, you stay kind of safe, I guess. Bye-bye.
And happy birthday, Dad.
Papa
Bye.
said.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.